In this video, you're gonna be learning what music theory is, and this first part is gonna be addressing the basic terminologies that you're gonna be using your entire life as a musician. And the second part of this video is gonna be addressing how to actually make music out of these terms. So, what is music theory? Well, music theory is basically the language that we use to communicate as musicians globally. It's a global language, you know. And it doesn't really matter if you play the keyboard or the piano, or if you play an organ, or if you play violin, a guitar. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna be communicating through the same language. All right. So that's what music theory is. It's basically the language that we use to communicate as musicians. And music theory, like any other language, has its own letters of the alphabet. In English, we use 26 letters of the alphabet, and in music, we only use 7 of them. All right, from A through G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Those are the only letters you're gonna find in music. Those are the only letters that you're gonna come across that people are gonna be talking about, fellow musicians. All right. What is a note? A note is basically a sound or a pitch. So if I go ooh, I'm singing a note, and if I go ooh ooh, I'm singing two notes. If I hit this here, this is a note. So that's what a note is basically. All right. And in music, we only have 12 notes. All right. We only have 12 notes in music. And you might be wondering, if we have 12 notes in music, then why does the keyboard have so many notes? All right. Well, that's because if you if you pay attention, if you study the layout of a keyboard, you're gonna see that we have a consistent pattern. So we have a pattern of 2 notes, 3 notes, 2 notes, 3 notes, and it just repeats itself all throughout the keyboard. All right. So basically, we only have 7 white notes, and we have 5 black notes. All right. So it's 12. 5 plus 7, it's 12. So those notes are just gonna repeat themselves. All right. For example, if I play this note here, this is a C note. All right. And this is also a C note. All right. You can tell that those notes are the same, but then just that the other one is high pitched and the other one is low pitched. All right. There's a mathematical reason, a scientific reason why that is. I'm not going to get into that, but you just got to know that this C and this C are the same. All right. So we have two types of notes, or two groups of notes. All right. So we have black notes and white notes. White notes are known as naturals, or just pure notes, or you know yeah, pure notes, naturals. And black notes are known as accidentals, or sharps and flats. A lot of people are gonna call them sharps and flats, which is totally fine. All right. And now we gotta learn how to name these notes. How do we name these notes? All right. These notes are named after those 7 letters of the alphabet. The white notes are named after those 7 letters of the alphabet, the first 7: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All right. We only have 7 white notes, 7 naturals. All right. On a guitar, you're not going to be able to see which ones are white notes, which ones are black notes, but then just know that the same theory applies to a guitar, or to a what, all right, to any other instrument. Just that on the keyboard, it's easy to spot them, it's easy to see them. All right, cool. So we have 7 white notes and 5 black notes, or 5 accidentals. All right. So how do we name them? The first note is this one. Well, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I want to talk about this first. It doesn't really matter which note is the first, all right? So, when you write notes, write them in a form of a circle, all right? Cuz what I like about writing them in a form of a circle is because A circle doesn't have a starting point. All right. So I can start my circle on the G. If I start my circle on the G, it means it's gonna be like G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right? If I started on G, I'm gonna end on G and then continue from G and stuff. If I started from A, I'm gonna go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All right. So when you write them in a form of circle, it helps eliminate the confusion. Okay, so now that we know that we have 7 white notes and 5 black notes, we have to know what a sharp is and what a flat is. Generally speaking, in music, a sharp just means high, to go high. When I say sharpen a note, I just mean that take that note a little bit higher. And then when I say flat, I mean the opposite. Just take that note a little bit lower. Sharp, higher, flat, lower. A sharp is indicated with this symbol right here. And then a flat is indicated with this symbol right here. Okay, let me give you another example. This note is known as a C sharp. What does that mean? It means that this note is higher than the note C. All right. So if this is C and this is C sharp, you can tell that the pitch sort of shifted. It sort of like went higher, Ooh. All right. So the same note can be called a D flat. All right. So from this note is a D. D flat meaning that it's lower than the note D. All right. So if I go from D to the note below it, I'm hitting a D flat. All right. So you can tell that it's the same note, but then in the first example, it sounded higher than the other one, but then now it sounds lower than the other one, but then it's the same note. All right. Theoretically, it's not the same note. C sharp and D flat are not the same note. All right? It's same sound, it's same pitch. These notes are called inharmonic equivalents. These are the notes that have same sound or same pitch but then different names. All right? So D flat, C sharp are not the same note. All right, cool. So now we have to give these notes names. All right. So the first white note close to this first two black notes. When you see these two black notes, just know that this note is a C. All right. And when you see these 3 black notes, you know that this is an F. So starting from a C, remember our circle: C, D, E, F, G, A, B. In alphabetical order: C, D, E, F, G. Remember that G is the last letter that we're gonna be using, and then from G you can go back to A, B, and then C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, A, F, G. All right. So now you know all the names of the white notes. All right. So when I see these 2 black notes, I know that this note is a C. When I see these 2 black notes, I know that this note is a C. It's a C. It's a C. It's a C. All right. So as soon as you know where your C is, now it's gonna be easy for you to know where those other notes are. All right, because you know that in an alphabetical order. I hope you understand. All right. Okay, so now you know what the white notes are. All right. So how do we name the black notes? Black notes are named after the same. Remember, black notes are named after the same 7 letters of the alphabet, but then with the symbol of a sharp or a flat. All right. Sharp meaning it's higher than the note that it's been referred to, that it's being compared to. All right. Flat meaning that it's lower than the note that it's been referred to. All right. So cool. Okay, so using what we've learned so far, this note is gonna be C sharp or a D flat. All right. This one is gonna be a D sharp or an E flat. This one is gonna be an F sharp or a G flat. This one is gonna be an A flat or a G sharp. This one is gonna be a B flat or and A sharp. All right. So if I just want to use all sharps, it's gonna be C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. If I want to use all flats, it's just gonna be D flat, E flat, G flat, A flat, B flat. All right. Now the last thing that you want to learn is half steps and whole steps. What is a whole step? A whole step is it's pretty much self-explanatory. It means that you just take an entire step, all right? And a half step is a half of a whole step, all right? A half step is the smallest interval in music, all right? So from C to C sharp is a half step. From C sharp to D is a half step, all right? But from C to D is a whole step because I have a note that I skipped in between, all right? Meaning from F sharp to A flat is a whole step because I skipped this note. I didn't go from F sharp to G to A flat, all right? So it means I've moved a whole step because I skipped this one. So when you see a note in between those two notes, you know that it's a whole step, all right? So from here to here, what is it? If you said whole step, well done. And then from here to here, if you said whole step, well done. And then how about from here to here? It's a half step, all right? Cool. And then how about from here to here? From here to here is what? It's 3 half steps because from 0, when you count, always count from 0 when you count in music, all right? 0, 1, 2, 3. It's 3 half steps. From between here and here, I've moved 3 half steps. 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. So if I say play me 5 half steps from the note C, you're gonna go C, which is your 0, and then you're gonna start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So meaning a note 5 steps away from C is what? 5 half steps away from C is an F, right? Does that make sense? And that's it, guys. We've made it towards the end of the video. I want to do a quick recap of the things that we've learned before we continue. So the first thing that you've learned is what music theory is. And we've learned that music is like any other language and it uses only 7 letters of the alphabet from A to G. Secondly, we've learned about notes. We've learned what a note is. It's basically a pitch or a sound. And we've learned that in music we only have 12 notes. And we also learned that we have 2 types of notes known as the natural notes and the accidentals. Naturals are basically the white notes and accidentals are basically the black notes on a keyboard. And we've also learned how to name the notes, that we name them after the first 7 letters of the alphabet. The naturals are obviously gonna use the letters from A to G, and the accidentals are gonna use the same letters, but they're gonna have a symbol of a sharp or a flat. And the third thing that we've learned about sharps and flats. We've learned that a sharp basically means to go high and flat basically means to go low. And we've learned that a sharp is indicated with a hashtag and a flat is indicated with this sign that looks like a small letter B. And we've learned that the easiest way to remember where C is by spotting the first 2 black keys on the keyboard, and then they're just gonna tell you where C is. And the last thing that we've learned about half steps and whole steps. If you want to know about the equipment that I'm using, the softwares that I'm using, mentorship programs, all that information is in the description of this video.